Getting out of a super controlling relationship can really leave you messed up when it comes to boundaries. If you've been with someone who's been narcissistic, who has completely crossed your boundaries, manipulated you, made you feel crazy, discerning who is controlling and who is just establishing healthy boundaries with you can be really difficult to understand.
So if you're new here, my name is Jessy.
And my name is B.
And we help heal women from the inside out through things like breathwork, energy work, and conscious coaching. So if that sounds like a good fit for you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for the rest of this video.
Today we're talking about getting out of emotionally abusive, toxic relationships, particularly with someone who's been narcissistic and has narcissistic tendencies, and what that process looks like after, because it's not just a clean break. Once you're out of it, it's you still have so much to learn about yourself and your boundaries and other people and your values and relationships, and it looks like a lot of rebuilding.
There's just a lot to unpack, really. There's a lot that you kind of have to sift through. There's the aftermath of being in a toxic relationship cycle with someone who has narcissistic tendencies or is a certified narcissist. So, yeah, there's a lot to unpack. Your boundaries can be out of whack. It's kind of like a rebuilding, rebirth, revisiting who you are and your value systems and building a new foundation after the fact.
Absolutely. So if you're in this in between space where I felt like this before, I had one foot in one reality, my old reality, having really leaky sexual energy and not really great boundaries, and my discernment was off with people and their intentions, and then one foot in a new reality with a higher version of you that knows her values and has really good strong boundaries and knows what she wants, and her sexual energy is used as super sacred, and whatever that looks like to you. You can have one foot in one life and one foot in the next and feel oh, sometimes I'm living over here and sometimes it can be very confusing. So I just want to hold space for anyone who's in that position, because I was there not too long ago and I've moved through it very quickly. I feel like I had a quantum leap with it, and I just want to let you know there are some things that you can do and focus on to help you get through that and be 2 feet in your new life.
Right. That can pull you out of that old life and quite literally into your new way of being, your new way of thinking, your new way of holding relationships with people, and most importantly, the relationship with yourself. So in the beginning, for example, in the beginning of B and I's relationship, we both had just gotten out of something super toxic. So B, I had a pretty similar journey. Prior to meeting her, I was in kind of the same space. I had terrible boundaries. I was not good at setting boundaries with people. I had leaky sexual energy. I was kind of all over the place, kind of a little chaotic, a little messy, messy Jessy. But I worked through those things a little bit prior to us meeting, so I think that helped me. I was better equipped to help her through, especially the boundary rebuilding, right? That was the main thing. Okay, so what we mean by leaky sexual energy, we're not talking about going and being sexual and leaking it all over the place. That sounds really bad. When we say leaky sexual energy, what we mean is not having boundaries with people, kind of allowing people to flirt with you, be touchy-feely, even if you don't necessarily want that. You're not inviting it in, but your energy's kind of inviting it in, and then you're just kind of allowing it, but it's not really what you want, but you're just kind of people pleasing in a way and like just allowing it to happen, like, okay, whatever.
It could look like that, or it could be a little bit more direct in that, like, yeah, like you're going out and disrespecting your relationship and cheating on your partner. Like, that is leaky sexual energy.
Yes, that is a form of leaky sexual energy, but
yeah. Unless you have that relationship with your partner, then it's all good. Then it's not leaky because you have those boundaries within the context of your relationship. But if you don't, and you're in a monogamous relationship and you're going out and your partner doesn't know, that's leaky. So it could look like a few different ways. I think that you probably understand what it means just by like the feeling of the words. But I had cleared a lot of that up. I used to struggle with that a lot, especially when I was drinking. But I cleared a lot of that up. What I really needed help with was strengthening my boundaries in friendships.
Right. And it can be really difficult to differentiate between like what's a healthy boundary from your partner and like what control is, especially if you're coming out of a place where you've been like with a partner who's super controlling, and we both have been in that situation before.
Right. So what Jess is talking about is like when I first started dating her and we decided, okay, we're going to be in this monogamous relationship together, she would state a boundary that now looking back is like super healthy and like communicative and everything that I love and want in a partner. And at the time, I didn't know if she was trying to control me or not, because I was so sensitive to that controlling, very overtly controlling and then very covertly, subtly controlling, that I just, anything that looked like was reminiscent of that, I was just like, no, I can't have that. I don't want it. Nope, I don't want to be controlled. I just want to be like this free bird. And like, that's not appropriate. Like, she needs to be able to communicate to her partner in a safe way, like, yeah, this is okay, this isn't okay.
Right.
So I was like a little sensitive to that in the beginning, I would say.
Right. So what was the most helpful thing that I did as your partner? Like, what's something that was helpful to you that maybe would be helpful to somebody else who maybe finds themselves in this situation with a new partner? They're struggling because they're like, I don't want to be controlled. I can't, like, how did you differentiate between like the healthy boundary and control?
Yeah, it takes so much time and practice. I just want to preface this with that. So like Jess's patience was everything. And I know that was difficult for you at times, because I was still navigating like, I guess like how to honor my values within my boundaries within friendships and how people were treating me and what I would accept and what I wouldn't accept. Like there were still parts of me that accepted manipulative, controlling behavior from other people too. Maybe not controlling, but manipulative for sure. And I guess that's a form of control, right? But like I had friends that were manipulative and like taking advantage of me, and I wasn't consciously able to see that for some time. And I think it was hard for Jess as my partner because she was able to see that, and she had to like be patient and allow me to go through my own process while gently saying, hey, this is what I see, but you, whatever, you know, you have your own perspective, you have your own opinion that could be different from mine. That was everything. And then in time, of course, I was able to see, oh my God, I'm being taken advantage of. This is not the right friendship for me. I've been tolerating things that I don't want to tolerate. Like this is actually just not in alignment with me. And yeah, it takes your own time, patience, practice.
Right. And I think as the partner who is on the other end, who is coming in with the healthy boundaries, who can see things from a different perspective that your partner can't quite see yet, part of the patience is allowing your partner to go through their own unique process and not trying to force them out of it, because if you come in with force and you're trying to make them see, you're forcing them to see things like you are, you're going to create a lot of resistance, a lot more resistance, and you're going to create a lot of resentment in your relationship. So it's really key to allow your partner to go through their own process and trust them, trust their process, and trust that they're going to see the light at the other end. And this is just a lesson that is playing out for them. And it did in our case. Sometimes, I know that's not always the case for everyone, but in our case, she did see the light. She did see my perspective. She you know, the truth always comes out no matter what. And
Yeah.
she was able to see, like, okay, now I see what you were talking about. I didn't see it then, but I see it now. I'm going to take the action steps that are most aligned with what I need and what our relationship needs, and moving forward. Like, this was a lesson. And I think on the other side of this, your discernment was so much stronger. Your discernment was stronger. And there was also just more trust in yourself. And that was, a huge lesson.
Well, I'm so glad that you brought that up, because if you've been in a abusive relationship of any kind, you know that the number one problem probably after that is like lack of trust in yourself. You don't feel like you can trust yourself or your intuition or your like judgment about people and situations. You feel like effed up in that sense, and you just feel like, oh my God, so broken. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it takes like the time, the practice, the lessons from different people. I'm trying not to say like tests from the universe, but like lessons from the universe, so that you can cultivate that trust within yourself. Now, like, I'm on the other side of it, and like, I'm trusting myself more than I ever have, because I can see back like, oh wow, I made these decisions to like cut certain people out and make certain boundaries, and like that was all correct. And even if it wasn't right, like, taking action brings clarity. So even if you're not 100% like, oh, this person has this intention and this person's trying to manipulate me and I need to take this action, just start taking action, because with action comes clarity. So the truth will be revealed in time. The other thing that I wanted to say is, you don't have to do this all alone. So if you're like in a place where your discernment is off, your judgment's super cloudy, you can't trust yourself, you're really in your mind, ask the universe to show you signs and bring you clarity of what this person's true intentions are, the truth of the whole situation, because then something will be revealed to you one way or another, and it'll become so clear, and you're like, okay, this is what I need to do.
Right. And I also think that in our case as well, it brought us so much closer, and there was more trust between us there. And it was also like cool to see her growth and the way that she grew, like from the time that I had first met her, and seeing where she struggled with boundaries, and then seeing her kind of come into her own and then trust herself again, and like taking those really challenging steps, because it wasn't easy. It's never easy to let go of someone that you thought was a friend, right? But seeing her take those action steps, seeing the growth, like, it was all rewarding.
So if this video is really resonating and you find yourself in a situation similar to this, hit the Calendly links below, schedule a free consult with us. We personally have gone through these experiences, as you've heard. We can hold space for you, and we can really like help you quantum leap to that new you, where you are so in your power, discerning, like trusting yourself. It's really amazing to watch our clients go through this process, and we want you to be one of them if that feels good to you. So as always, take what you need, leave the rest, and go love yourself.